Hey guys, so today we're going to be looking at more gut feeling stories. Yeah, let's just get right into the video. I was a birthday party princess in college, dress up as a Disney character, sing some songs, help with cake, paint faces, typical party stuff. I get called to a party that began at 8 p.m. Unusual but not unheard of in our industry. A lot of Spanish speaking families party well into the night. But I pull up down the street, princesses don't drive, and begin walking to the house, dressed as Sleeping Beauty, my party box of supplies in hand. But when I saw the house, I knew immediately something was wrong. There were no lights on, no cars, no balloons, but against my better judgment, I knocked on the door. This super creepy looking guy in his mid-50s answers, in a dirty t-shirt and jeans, and the first thing he says is, "The party's around back." I take one look at this guy and booked it as fast as I could while holding a box, wearing a ball gown and being mildly crippled to begin with. I got into my car, locked the doors, floored it to a 7-Eleven and called my boss. The party never called demanding to know where the princess was. No one asked for the deposit back. My boss called police non-emergency, but I don't know if anything was ever done. I'm 100% sure there was no party in that house. Yeah, for sure. What? No balloons? That's the first thing. Yep. Every kid likes balloons. Every freaking party has balloons. It doesn't matter how old you are. There's gonna be a balloon. Okay. So the party if you don't have a balloon. After my shift ended, I went into the lunchroom to get my lunch bag. I noticed one of the guy coworkers was sitting at a table, constantly looking at the opposite entrance. Our lunchroom has 2 entrances. Around that time, my coworker and friend, who's a girl that the guy likes, was getting an interview for a lead position. I had a bad feeling about him being there, almost as if he was waiting for her to come out. At work, he's a creep. He'll follow her, get mad when certain people talk to her, and has gone through her phone. She has zero interest on being with him and has told him, but he's still convinced he has a chance. Anyway, I thought I was overreacting, so I went home. Within 30 minutes of leaving, I got a strong feeling that I should go back and drive to her car. So I did, and when I got to her car, I saw him trying to get in from the driver's side. She was already inside her car and was trying to kick him away from her, but it wasn't working. When he noticed me, he backed off and looked very angry at me. He stayed for a few seconds until he realized I wasn't going to leave, so he left. After he left, she explained what had happened. Turns out he followed her because he wanted a hug and she refused to give one. She was trying to get away, but he kept pulling her back. That I had saved her life. Yeah, I can't imagine what would have happened if I didn't show up. Tell me he got arrested for that because he just assaulted her. I don't get people like this. Like, seriously, she's already told you she doesn't like you. Move on. Move the heck on. You better not be working there anymore. Like, I hope he got fired because no way after doing that he's still working there. I used to work overnights and for whatever reason I had a weird inkling that my SO was cheating on me. So I went home, we lived together, early one night, and what do you know, there's a naked dude lying in our bed with her. Oh my goodness, that's so sad. The fact that you're working so freaking hard overnights, right? And then your freaking partner is cheating on you while you're working, making the money, getting that bread. The disrespect. Hell no. In high school, I worked at a coffee shop a few blocks away from my house, which is also close to a large hospital. My brother had been sick at home for several days, so when an ambulance rushed by the coffee shop with sirens and lights going, my first thought was, that's for my brother. I think he died. 30 minutes later, the shop phone rings and it's my mum asking me how quickly I can get to the hospital. I was right. The ambulance has been going to my house to get my brother. He had died. That's so sad. They just had a gut feeling because, yeah, their brother has been sick. And they were like, oh no. Oh my gosh, that's so sad. On a weekend trip to upstate New York, we entertained ourselves riding an ATV around an off-road track the neighbors made. The last day of the trip, my SO says he's going to take one last spin on it. And I knew something terrible was going to happen. I told him exactly how I felt and he dismissed me. As he was leaving the house, I said, just promise me that you won't go really fast, just because it's the last ride. I don't trust it and I think you'll lose control. Luckily, after he went too fast and lost control, it was only his ankle that suffered. Finding him on that trail leaning up against a tree was the single scariest moment of my life. Thank God it was just his ankle. This is why you always trust your SO. Whenever they tell you, I have a bad feeling about this, listen to them. Okay, listen. My best friend and I were at a wedding and we got absolutely wasted at the after party. It was an indoor wedding with tiki torches and a little bar, etc. Anyway, my best friend was doing that drunk stumbling where you kind of just lunge from one place to another instead of taking steps. So I turned my back on him and I'm getting myself another drink. And I don't know what made me turn around and grab him, but I whipped around and caught him around the waist and righted him. He was falling backwards directly onto a tiki torch that someone broke in half and left sticking out of the ground. Totally saved him from being impaled. Yo! Would have been like a final destination moment, man. That's scary. Have you guys seen that dude who was riding on his motorbike and then a freaking tree branch just impaled his foot? I don't know why that just reminded me of that, but it's like Final Destination moment. And he was, yeah, the adrenaline was probably rushing. That's how he was like, no freaking way, no way. But yeah, it freaking impaled his foot like in the middle. Ooh. Walking back from my girlfriend's house, I always cut through a hedge in my garden to get home. I've done this hundreds of times, every time. For some odd reason, I just decided to go the long way. I said to myself, it's a nice night out, I'll walk around. No idea why I would do that. Then when I came in, there was a person right where I would have exited the hedge, robbing the car. We would have been face to face and he would have gotten a fright thinking I was jumping him with whatever he had in his hand to jam open the car. I attribute it to my gut instinct because I must have subconsciously sensed something. Wow, sometimes it do be like that. You just have a gut feeling to be like, maybe I'll just go a different way today. And then something happens on the way that you would have went for the 10 plus years. My wife and I had signed a contract on a $200,000 house. First time buyers ready to start our family. When I got to the office the day before the sellers would sign the closing papers, I had an uneasy feeling, felt sick most of the day. I put up the house on the net and looked it over again, did some math. Found out the man we put in charge of the mortgage left a fee that would have increased our payments by $200 if I had not checked. Wow, that's freaking sneaky. This is why you gotta read everything and double check everything. You never know who's out there to try to scam you, because seriously, nowadays there are so many freaking scammers. Like, I feel so bad for the elderly because they just don't know, right? They just think, oh yeah, everything from a phone call is probably legit, and they get scammed. That's so freaking sad. Friends asked me to help them move a boulder. My gut said no, something bad would happen. Helped anyways, crushed the tip of my finger off, blood everywhere. This was not really a gut feeling because I don't think anyone should be moving a boulder. Definitely if you're moving a freaking boulder, yeah, something bad is gonna happen. I was at a beach in Florida with my family. Everyone hopped in the water, but something in me just said bad idea. So I just skimboarded to lunch. Shortly after, a 10-year-old girl was bit by a shark about 100 meters down the beach. She lived, but damn, I felt tweaked out after. This is what I mean. I hate the freaking ocean. The freaking ocean is scary. There are just so many things out there, man. Like, even some of the freaking octopuses are poison. Some jellyfish too. Oh my goodness. Everything's out to get you in the ocean. Seriously. I never liked my wife's best friend's husband. Got a weird vibe from him. I felt like he was disingenuous or dishonest. Wife thought I was being cold towards him. I was definitely not wanting to hang around him and not being my usual gregarious self. Come to find out, he had been married before, but never told my wife's best friend. He was also seeing someone on the side during the engagement, and the marriage lasted less than a year for obvious reasons. Basically, he was a dishonest, weakling scumbag with mental issues. I thought it was common sense to tell someone something if you find out something about their partner. Like, you know. But damn, this guy has great gut feelings. That's rare. That's very rare to hear from. Well, that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Tell me in the comments down below what your thoughts are. And as always, thanks for watching. Hope you guys liked it, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!